want to say hello to a beautiful young lady who is watching us on TV, Aubrey. Her father sent us a tweet. She's just relaxed, just a little girl, couple years old. Her favorite player is Pat DeMarco. She doesn't remember his playing days. She wasn't born yet, but her favorite player is Pat DeMarco. So, Pat, say hello to Aubrey for us. How about that?
Hey, Aubrey, I think you're full of it saying I'm your favorite player, but I appreciate it.
Well, look, we would encourage her to watch Tailgate Talks, but Garcia's on there, and we don't want her to learn the bad words yet. So she's got about 8 more years.
Yeah.
Her father.
Got to be careful. Got to be careful with that guy.
You just never know with Steven Garcia. What's up, man? We're getting close. They're going to be back in your old stomping grounds, ATL.
Yeah, I know. I've only been back there 3 times in the new stadium, and it is quite a sight to see. I'm not making it this game. I got 17,000 kids activities and youth sports, so I'm not going to make the trip for the game. But I will be watching it loud and proud, and I know we're going to come out hungry and ready to kick some butt and get season rocking and rolling.
Good. The latest Tailgate Talks, by the way, is awesome. It's a guy that everybody recognizes, Lenor Sellers, and then a guy who will be protecting him this year, Cason Henry. You've been around Lenoris a lot, man. I just wanted to ask you about what you've seen from him from the day that you met him when he got to South Carolina to now, kind of this entrenched starter, Heisman Trophy candidate, draft pick, the whole 9 yards. Have you seen any differences in who he is as a person, but also talk about how he has molded himself into the player that he is today?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from the recruiting process with him to interviewing him 2.5 weeks ago, he has not changed a bit, which is awesome, because in today's world with social media and NIL and agents and all this other stuff, you can be very easily changed. I mean, I saw it firsthand in NFL locker rooms. Money changes people. And he has been just his steady self, a grinder, work ethic out the wazoo, community impactor, great teammate. I mean, all those things that we saw when we were recruiting him. Humble is all get out. I remember I was trying to explain to him and his family, because I was assisting with the NIL world during my time when he was getting recruited. I was like, you're stepping into a really good situation. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because Spencer Rattler, who has played a lot of college football, is doing really well from an NIL standpoint, and he is setting the benchmark of what a starting quarterback here at South Carolina does. He's setting the market, and it's like you're stepping into a good situation because the market's set and the market's pretty high, and they just both looked at me like, I didn't even know. Like, we were under the standpoint of we weren't getting any money coming here. We just want to come play football. We want to compete at this level, and that's why I was like, okay, you got something here.
Well, they have something. There's no doubt about that. You almost wonder. This would be more a question for actual Lenor Sellers, but you almost wonder with Rattler now, who had a great day, by the way, yesterday in a preseason.
Yeah,
he had a great
day. He's going to win that job.
Yes, he is. He's going to be a starter. Pat, this is the greatest era of quarterbacks probably ever. No offense to all of our buddies, as you well know, but I mean, you got a Heisman candidate, you got a starter in the NFL. It's pretty incredible. But you wonder how often they communicate and what Rattler, does Lenoris call him for some advice here and there? Does Rattler just call to check in? I don't know if any of us know the answer to that, but it's certainly.
I saw Lenoris. He did one of those quick little snippets on social media about like, what's a habit that you want to break? And he's like, TikTok. He's like, I look at TikTok too much. So I'm sure in this world, they don't call each other. They don't FaceTime each other. They might not even text each other, but I'm sure they TikTok each other.
They TikTok each other. 2025, sweet mother. All right. So, Pat, we're less than 2 weeks out. Shane has mentioned that they will, you get through. Explain camp. How about this? Do this for him. He says we're going to get through 2 weeks, and then we'll start to whittle things down and focus on VT. So what is this week like in the Gamecock football program?
This is still a get after it week. You're still practicing 1v1s. You're not going scout team mode much, but you are starting to implement into practice the true game plan of what you want to go execute against Virginia Tech. You might have a couple breakout sessions where you do a couple walkthroughs against the scout team or to get looks just to, I don't know anything about Virginia Tech, but are they a 3-4 defense? Are they a 4-3 defense? Do they play 4-2-5? What type of defense they like to run, what their top pressures are. You got to think the coaches have been scouting Virginia Tech, just like Virginia Tech's coaches have been scouting Carolina since December or January of last year. So it's a lot of information that they're kind of like trying to fast track and figure out what their game plan is going to be. So one view, I mean, they're going one-on-ones for most periods, I would imagine. A couple breakout periods where you might do some scout team stuff and start to go through the install of what week one's going to be like. And then as you dial it in, it like slowly tinker backs and then, Beamer's a go-getter, right? His practices are very seldomly like laid back. He likes competition, and competition breeds the best in everybody. So, even if it is a scout team week, they're still going to be getting after it.
I'm asking this. I hope I'm asking this appropriately. How do you compare a Shane Beamer practice to a Steve Spurrier practice?
I can tell you Shane Beamer's a lot more consistent than Steve Spurrier was, just from a personal standpoint. Yeah. I mean, Coach Spurrier was, what side of the bed did he wake up on? I mean, that was kind of the practice world. We look good. Let's end it early today. Or we're not doing very good. We're going to go an extra 45 minutes today. We're a little more structure with Coach Beamer. But I mean, I would say, also like Coach Spurrier, like he would play favorites all the time, right? I mean, he was an offensive coach, so like everything was trying to design to make the offense win. If the defense won, we were going to go at it until the offense won. Where Beamer's a little more level-headed and he sees kind of both sides of the story. And really, he wants to bring out the best in everybody, coaching staff, players. So he is giving everybody positions or situations to go succeed. But in that, also trying to get what's best out of everybody as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our understanding is, I didn't get this. I'm stealing this from JC, but once again in the scrimmage this weekend, Dylan Stewart was just Dylan Stewart. Yeah, he's a major problem, and that's not indicative of the offensive line. He's a dude. So Pat, when you got a guy like that, and obviously, Jadeveon was right after you at South Carolina, but what a good defensive end looks like. You played in the NFL for a little while. How do offenses generally attack a talent like Dylan Stewart?
Well, the way it generally goes when you get to obviously NFL, you have Sunday's the game. Monday is a couple places I was at. It was Tell the Truth Monday. Film doesn't lie. Like can't hide behind anything. Like you can sit here and make every excuse under the sun, but tape's rolling. Why'd you do that? But Tuesday you would really get into, or Tuesday was off day, but you're starting to kind of do your film study already. And then Wednesday, when the install starts to uptick, you're doing your base install, and in that you go through the game records. Like each offense or defense has 2 to 3, maybe more depending on the team, but game records, guys that on a defensive front that we're getting 2 hands on every play, or we're running away from, or we're sliding to, or we're trying to attack, any which way. But I would imagine for all 12 games this year, Dylan Stewart's going to be on the opposing team's game record chart because that guy can just absolutely get after it. And I would imagine that, like, Clayton White and co on our staff are going to have to try to find ways, tendencies to move him around because slides going to him every time, right? Like, no, they're not going to leave a tackle one-on-one against him very seldomly without chip help or something. I would imagine teams are going to try to run away from him. Is he a weak side defensive end consistently, or is he a right side, left side? And at the end of the day, you want him at the point of attack, or at least I do. I want that guy to have every situation to make every play possible. He's going to create havoc, force turnovers, like do what game changers do. So I think I answered you and rambled a little bit, but every single week, like we're playing the Carolina Panthers when I was in Atlanta. Luke Kuechly, 2 to 4 hands on him every play. Every slide's going to J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, every slide. We had ways, when we played against the Houston Texans and Jadeveon Clowney was there, like we had different ways to attack him. We would not block him on some plays, right? It's kind of weird, but he had tendencies to, if he wasn't getting blocked, to kind of half butt those plays. So, there's a lot of study that goes into it. He's going to be starred on every game plan.
It's fascinating to hear you talk about it. I would love to be in the room. Kyron Drones is the quarterback for Virginia Tech. He's been there since 2023. He actually began his career at Baylor, for anybody that didn't know that. But and of course he did go down last year with some injuries. He's a true dual threat guy. They did add some running backs in the portal this year. One of them, by the way, the son of Braden Bennett, who played at Coastal last season, or the last few seasons. But I would love to be a fly on the wall, Pat, when they're scouting him and to understand what his tendencies are. When does he decide that he's going to run and in which direction is that, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody's got a tendency, right? And then learn what they are going to do defensively with Dylan Stewart based off of those. Is there anything that you can add to that? Just kind of how that process kind of unfolds?
No, but the crazy thing is the guy who was a freshman last year had an entire offseason to get bigger, stronger, faster, and expand his tool set too, right? Like teams, like he might have had a favorite move, and I would imagine it was probably speed to power. It's what every young guy's favorite move is, their tendency is. I'm sure he's got chop rip. I'm sure he has a spin back inside. I'm sure he has the ghost move. I'm sure he has all these other moves that he is stacking into his reservoir of pass rush moves. When you're in pass protection or trying to attack somebody, like you have to have your go-to, but you also have to have a counter, right? Like if I'm trying to block Von Miller coming off the edge.
Did you block Von Miller?
I did, and it was a crapshoot, right? He's one of the best to ever do it. So you have to know what his go-to is, and his was speed to power. Like most premier pass rushers, like, hey, I'm going to get off the ball and I'm going to freak you out. And if you open up your hips, I'm going to put my hands in your chest, and you're going to have no leverage, and I'm going to walk the dog. But if you get a good set and we get our hands on each other, now we're fighting hands, or now I'm going with my first move, and if you adjust to my first move, then I'm going to counter again. So, Dylan Stewart has relentless effort too, right? Like a lot of the premier pass rushers, if they win on their first move, you win and it's done, then making the sack. But he's a guy that is going to, if he doesn't win on his first move, he's going to try his second move. And if the second move doesn't work, he's going to try to spin inside and make something happen. So he's short and sweet. I'm just glad I don't have to block people like that anymore. My life's a lot better sitting here in the office.
I don't know, man. You were pretty good at it. Go ahead, Mike.
I have a blocking question in some fashion or another. Let's just say, and I texted Darren Heitner, the attorney, this morning, and I just texted one word regarding the Rashul Faison. Fatigue? And he said 100%. That drama continues to go on. But let's just say the good news comes and he can play.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy that blocked for his fair share of running backs,
yep.
How much of that here on August the 18th, how much can we expect of the rhythm, the chemistry, knowing how he runs, knowing how he follows blocks or cuts back? How much time can you put that in warp speed between now and the first game?
Yeah, he is clear to practice right now currently.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's been getting reps, but just to protect your own butt. Not taking anything away. Like Oscar Attaway is a dude as well. So I think they're definitely going to complement each other. But I think you can't put all your eggs in one basket if you don't know the answers for sure. So I'd imagine they're splitting reps. But 3-4 weeks of practice, you get a pretty good idea of what it is. And I think a lot of film study and sitting in the rooms, a lot of stuff gets figured out there too, not even on the practice field. The running backs will go sit and watch the run game install and watch 9-on-7 or inside drill with the offensive line. And they're talking about, hey, that double team, like, you guys stayed on it a little longer than usual. Why'd you do that? Oh, well, the back was a little more backside, so I had more time so I could press the gap. Or guards pulling and back gets out in front of the guard. That happens sometimes. It's not ideal, but hey, if you get outside of me, man, like, no, I need to know that you're getting back inside of me at some point so I can continue to expand this guy. So I mean, those are all things you figure out during training camp, and all stuff that is going to get worked on right now, and then hopefully the fatigue kicks in and they can make this darn decision soon, so we can know, and he can know, and the whole team can know what they're looking at.
I'm guessing you were a pretty vocal guy as a player. Did you ever have a situation where you're setting great blocks for a particular running back, college or pro, and you've got a guy sealed, whatever it is, and for whatever reason, this particular running back continually does not go where he's supposed to go, even though you did your job, but he doesn't do his? And what is that conversation like if that happens?
Yeah, it's when you get to the sideline, there's a lot of conversations that were had, and obviously, you have the little iPads or the tablets, whatever they are, so you can review stuff, and in the moment, like, coach's eyes are usually pretty close, but you don't always know the exact situation. So there's a lot of conversations that are had, and also, like, there's a lot of accountability, right? I mean, if you're blocking for somebody, if I'm blocking for somebody and I miss, and they get to the sideline and like, what happened? Like, well, ding dong here, missed. Or the running back thinks he sees something and reads it wrong. Like, where we could have had a 12-yard gain and we ended up with 4. Hey, let's not do that again, but also let's attack that play again. Let's get another crack at it. So, like Monday's meeting, film don't lie, right? You can sit here and say, well, I thought I saw this, and we're like, well, I don't know how the hell you saw that with what happened. And then, like, there's also, I remember I had a frustrating. I never beat the New England Patriots ever in my NFL career. I think I played them 6 times, maybe more, actually more than that. And we had him on the ropes up in Foxborough when I was with the Bills, and we had a young left guard who's actually one of the best guards in the NFL at this point in time, but he was a rookie and didn't know what he didn't know, and was in over his head this game, and had a couple. Fullback only gets X amount of plays, and he messed up on several plays that I was in on, and I'm having to save the day because I'm the adjuster, the eliminator. So I'm going to make my block, and the 3 techniques run scot-free. And I'm like, oh, sweet, there's a 330-pounder. I have to completely not do my responsibility now and take care of that guy. So I was not nice to him after he screwed up a couple times in the huddle, and yelled at him quite meanly, and might have said a couple cuss words to him, called him some names that I probably shouldn't have called him. Point across. And he, that Monday, and Tell the Truth Monday, was accountable. Hey, I didn't prep well enough this week. I was in over my head. I promise you it's not going to happen again. I'm going to study X amount of hours Monday, Tuesday to be ready. So it's all part of the growth and development process. But I should have been nicer to that poor rookie. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say his name.
Where'd he go to college? You could tell it.
Oh, I mean, week one's not a far place off.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll keep guessing, Pat. We'll have this thing figured out by next week.
He's an offensive lineman. Good luck.
I can't believe that you and I haven't talked about this in the last 8 months, and it struck me this morning that I never, like, not on the air, I mean, just in general, all the phone conversations, every time we talk, I've never asked you this. You were in the same division, although I know you probably weren't studying the offense, but when you were with the Falcons, you were in the same division that Mike Shula was in, calling plays for the Carolina Panthers. So you saw him twice a year, once in Atlanta and once in Charlotte. What do you remember about Mike Shula? How would you kind of like, does he have anything that kind of makes him who he is as an OC? Is there a signature way to define Mike Shula as an offensive coordinator?
Well, I mean, I will say, like, very much like Coach Spurrier, he's a repeat play caller. Like, if something works, why the hell am I not going to do it again? I'm not going to try to overthink things, which there's a lot of truth and a lot of validity to that. It gives the team confidence. I mean, I know as a quarterback, you like making the same throw. If you get the same coverage, like, why the heck not? Running back blocking standpoint, like, if you get the front that you want and a play works, like, let's go back to it. And then if we need to adjust moving forward, I will say there is a lot of thought process to it. There's adjustments on most plays. He also had during those years, he had like the ultimate eliminator, right? Like Cam Newton was a pretty good player. And I would sit there and say that, I mean, not saying that Lenor is Cam Newton, because Cam Newton was the number 1 overall pick and MVP and a lot of things, but they're pretty similar athletes. And I think they have pretty similar play styles. And, you know, Lenor's can make a lot of plays out of nothing, like we saw last year. So I would say that just consistency. You know, they weren't ever going to get away from who they were, what their DNA was, what made them win. And they like to get downhill at people, which I know Shane Beamer's a lot of the same, right? He likes to attack people and make you feel them. So every time we played them, we called it the black and blue game. They were black and blue, and after that game, if you did any significant plays during that game, you were bruised up a little bit. That was a physical ball game. So that's kind of from my memory. It was always a physical game. They ran the ball, we ran the ball, and Cam Newton was very good at football.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, you're right about that. I heard that he wants to be on College Game Day or something. That's what he keeps telling people. He wants to have his own pregame show.
Do you know how many touchdowns he accounted for his 1 year at Auburn?
Oh, if I had to count just in the 2 times we played him, like eight there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The answer is 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
he threw for 30. He ran for 20.
Yeah.
And
That's special.
And he had over 4,000. I mean, it's one of the best seasons. I've been following the SEC for a long time. This is one of the best seasons that I've ever seen. Him and Manziel, those 2 years have not been replicated since. So
yeah.
Well, that
pretty
game,
bad dude. Pretty bad dude.
That game in Auburn in 2010, Pat, I sat with your parents.
Did you really?
Yeah, you gave me the ticket. Thanks, man.
Hey.
It was your parents and the Garcias, and we were in the, you know, where the corner of the end zone is there, where the Gamecock or where visitors sit, and that was the corner that Cam Newton dove into the end zone for them to take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And
he also was at the same. No, I guess it was a different corner that the very first drive when he went 75 on Q Power lead. That was fun.
Yeah,
watching our DBs like try to catch him, and he's 250 something pounds. You're like, oh wow.
Well, the crazy thing about all of that, because you have the firsthand, and Mike, to your point, like firsthand account of this, like when the season began, Cam Newton was on the radar, but he wasn't, you know, that big beaming light on the radar just yet. But if you talk about, I'm talking about you, Pat, if you talk about Cam Newton, I think that was week 4, week 5 on the plains of Auburn versus when y'all played Cam Newton in the SEC championship game. Is there even a comparison to the 2 Cam Newtons?
He was who we thought he was.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy.
I mean, like, in the game plan changed going into the SEC championship game, right? Like the body of work was there. It wasn't week 3, week 4 where they were playing a bunch of donkeys the first couple of weeks. Like they beat Bama. They beat everybody they needed to beat. And I remember we were spying him with like linebackers, and because we couldn't spy him with an interior defensive lineman, like they couldn't run with him, but then the linebackers couldn't tackle him. It was like, wow, like what do you do here? You spy 2 and like only you rush 2, spy with 2, and then have 5 in coverage. Like he was a problem. And that's why he was Heisman Trophy winner and did all the things he did. And but 16's a problem too, so I'm excited to see him go at it.
He is a problem. I'm trying to remember, who were the linebackers on that team? Shaq Wilson.
Shaq Wilson, Rodney Paul, Antonio Allen, Josh Dickerson, Tony Straughter.
Tony Straughter, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, we had
none of those guys were as big as Cam Newton.
No, I mean, but they were great players, and they could all run and strong and everything. But 6'6", 250, wasn't there a song written about him or a rap thing written about him? And
I don't
6'6", 250, run 4.4. I can make it simple. Make a lot of money.
Right on cue, by the way, the SEC Network 56 seconds ago tweeted out Cam Newton will have his jersey retired on October the 11th on the
much deserved right there.
Yeah, probably a little late. Any party shots, Pat? We got to let you run, man. I know you got to get back to your day job. Any party shots? Well, I know we'll do this again next week and every week thereafter, but
yeah, well, first off, I'm excited to talk ball. Like this is fun, kind of shooting the breeze. But I love diving into the tape and going through plays. That's what kind of gets me really excited. But I know all the viewers here know about Tailgate Talks. You can find us all over every social media, and you guys do a great job of broadcasting us as well. But had Lenore last week. Have some more current guys on this upcoming week. And another really great show. So hopefully everybody's been enjoying it. And YouTube is a thing, right? And so if you watch us on YouTube, great. If you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever it is, great as well. But we're really trying to highlight YouTube. So make sure you like, subscribe, and do all the YouTube things that I'm learning about.
Go Falcons, Pat.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm excited to watch them this year.
Now, they got something. If not now, when is the question in Atlanta?
Yeah, we're working with or talking to my son Weston and negotiating with my wife when I can take him to Falcons games this year. And I think we're going to do two. We're going to do one.
Oh, great!
One Bills game. So
let me know. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm excited. It's the first time in a while that I'm excited for Falcons football.
Yeah, it's been haven't had much to cheer for here lately.
Yeah,
been a rough go.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, Pat.
Yep. See y'all.